विशुद्धिचक्रनिलया रक्तवर्णा त्रिलोचना खट्वाङ्गादिप्रहरणा वदनैकसमन्विता पायसानप्रिया त्वक्स्था पशुलोकभयङ्करी अमृतादिमहाशक्तिः संवृता डाकिनीश्वरी अनाहताब्जनिलया श्यामा भावदनद्वया द्रंष्टोक्षलाशमालादिधरा रुधिरसंस्थिता कालरात्रादिशक्योगवृता स्निग्धौधनप्रिया महावीरेन्द्रवरदा रागिण्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी मणिपूराब्जनिलया वदनत्रयसंयुता वज्राधिकायुधोपेता डामर्यादिभिरावृता रक्तवर्णा मांसनिष्ठा गुडान्नप्रीतमानसा समस्तभक्तसुखदा लागिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी स्वादिष्टानाम्बुजगदा चतुर्वक्त्रमनोहरा शूलाद्यायुधसम्पन्ना पीतवर्णादिगर्विता मेधोनिष्ठा मधुप्रीता बन्दिन्यादिसमन्विता दद्यन्नासक्तहृदया काकिनी रूपधारिणी नाधाराम्बुजारूढा पञ्चवक्त्रास्ति संस्थिता अंकुशादिप्रहरणा वरदादिनिषेविता मुद्गौदनासक्तचित्ता साकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी आज्ञाचक्राब्जनिलया शुक्लवर्णा षडानना मज्जा संस्थाहंसवती मुख्यशक्तिसमन्विता हरिद्रानैकरसिका हाकिनी रूपधारिणी सहस्रदलपद्मस्था सर्ववर्णोपशोभिता सर्वायुधधरा शुक्लसंस्थिता सर्वतोमुखी सर्वोदनप्रीतचित्ता याकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी स्वाहा स्वधा मतिर्मेधा श्रुतिस्मृतिरनुत्तमा पुण्यकीर्ति पुण्यलभ्या पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना पुलोमजार्चिता बन्धमोचनी बर्बरालका विमर्शरूपिणी विद्या वेदादिजहस्रसोः सर्वव्याधिप्रशमनी सर्वमृत्युनिवारिणी अग्रगण्या चिन्त्यरूपा कलिकल्मषनाशिनी कात्यायनी कालहन्त्री कमलाक्षनिषेविता ताम्बूलपूरितमुखी दाळिमी कुसुमप्रभा मृगाक्षी मोहिनी मुख्या मृडानी मित्ररूपिणी नित्यतृप्ता भक्तनिधिर्नियन्त्री निखिलेश्वरी मैत्र्यादिवासनालभ्या महाप्रलयसाक्षिणी पराशक्ति परानिष्ठा प्रज्ञानघनरूपिणी माद्रीपानालसामत्ता मातृकावर्णरूपिणी महाकैलासनिलया मृणालमृदुदोर्लता महनीया दयामूर्तिर्महासाम्राज्यशालिनी आत्मविद्या महाविद्या श्री विद्या कामसेविता श्री षोडशाक्षरी विद्या त्रिकोटा कामकोटिका कटाक्ष किङ्करीभूत कमला कोटिसेविता शिरस्थिता चन्द्रनिभा बालस्तेन्द्रधनुः प्रभा हृदयस्थारविप्रख्या त्रिकोणान्तरदीपिका दाक्षायणी दैत्यहन्त्री दक्षयज्ञविनाशिनी दरान्दोलितदीर्घाक्षी दरहासोज्ज्वलन्मुखी गुरुमूर्ति गुणनिधिर्गोमाता गुहजन्मभूः देवेशी दण्डनीतिस्था दहराकाशरूपिणी प्रतिबन्मुख्यराकान्ततिथिमण्डलपूजिता कलात्मिका कलानाथा काव्यालापविनोदिनी सचामररमावाणी सव्यदक्षिणसेविता आदिशक्तिरमेयात्मा परमा पावनाकृतिः अनेककोटिब्रह्माण्डजननी दिव्यविग्रह क्लीङ्कारी केवला गुह्या कैवल्यपददायिनी त्रिपुरा त्रिजगद्वन्द्या त्रिमूर्तिस्त्रिदशेश्वरी त्र्यक्षरी दिव्यगन्धाढ्या सिन्धूरतिलकाञ्चिता उमा शैलेन्द्रतनया गौरी गन्धर्वसेविता विश्वगर्भा स्वर्णगर्भा वरदा वागदीश्वरी ज्ञानगम्या परिच्छेद्या ज्ञानदा ज्ञानविग्रह सर्ववेदान्तसंवेद्या सत्यानन्दस्वरूपिणी लोपामुद्रार्चिता लीला क्लृप्तब्रह्माण्डमण्डला अदृश्यादृश्यरहिता विज्ञात्री वेद्यवर्जिता योगिनी योगदा योग्या योगानन्दा युगन्धरा इच्छाशक्ति ज्ञानशक्ति क्रियाशक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी अष्टमूर्तिरजा जैत्री लोकयात्रा विधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूपा निर्द्वैता द्वैतवर्जिता अन्नदा वसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्मैक्यस्वरूपिणी बृहती ब्राह्मणी ब्राह्मी ब्रह्मानन्दा बलिप्रिया भाषारूपा बृहत्सेना भावा भावविवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभकरी शोभना सुलभा गतिः राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राजकृपा राजपीठ निवेशित निजाश्रिता राजलक्ष्मी कोशनाथा चतुरङ्गबलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसन्धा सागरमेखला दीक्षिता दैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशङ्करी सर्वातदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानन्दरूपिणी देशकाला परिच्छिन्ना सर्वगा सर्वमोहिनी सरस्वती शास्त्रमयी गुहाम्बा गुह्यरूपिणी सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्ता सदाशिवपतिव्रता सम्प्रदायेश्वरी साध्वी गुरुमण्डलरूपिणी कुलोत्तीर्णा भगाराध्या माया मधुमतीमही गणाम्बा गुह्यकाराध्या कोमलांगी गुरुप्रिया स्वतन्त्रा सर्वतन्त्रेशी दक्षिणामूर्तिरूपिणी सनगादिसमाराध्या शिवज्ञानप्रदायिनी चित्कलानन्दकलिका प्रेमरूपा प्रियङ्करी नामपारायण प्रीता नन्दिविद्यानटेश्वरी मिथ्या जगदधिष्ठान मुक्तिदा मुक्तिरूपिणी लास्यप्रिया लयकरी लज्जारम्भादिवन्दिता भवदा वसुधा वृष्टिः पापारण्यदवानला दौर्भाग्यतूलवातूला जराध्वान्तरविप्रभा भाग्याब्धिचन्द्रिका भक्तचित्तकेहिनराघना रोगपर्वतदम्भोलिर्मृत्युदारुकुठारिका महेश्वरी महाकाली महाग्रासा महाशना अपर्णा चण्डिका चण्डमुण्डा सुरनिषूधिनी क्षराक्षरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गदात्री शुभगा त्र्यम्बका त्रिगुणात्मिका स्वर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा जपा पुष्पनिभाकृतिः ओजोवदीदितिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियव्रता दुराराध्या दुरादर्शा पाटली कुसुमप्रिया महती मेरुनिलया मन्दार कुसुमप्रिया वीराराध्या विराट रूपा विरजा विश्वतोमुखी प्रत्यग्रूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी मार्ताण्ड भैरवाराध्या मन्त्रिणी न्यस्तराजदोः त्रिपुरेशी जयसेना निस्त्रैगुण्या परापरा सत्यज्ञानानन्दरूपा सामरस्य परायणा कपर्दिनी कलामाला कामधुक्कामरूपिणी कलानिधि काव्यकला रसज्ञा रससेवधिः पुष्टा पुरातना पूज्या पुष्करा पुष्करेक्षणा परञ्ज्योति परन्दामा परमाणु परात्परा पाशहस्ता पाशहन्त्री परमन्त्रविभेदिनी मूर्ता मूर्ता नित्यतृप्ता मुनिमानसहंसिका सत्यव्रता सत्यरूपा सर्वान्तर्यामिनी सती ब्रह्माणी ब्रह्मजननी बहुरूपा बुधार्चिता
प्रसवित्री प्रचण्डाज्ञा प्रकटाकृतिः
प्राणेश्वरी प्राणदात्री पञ्चाशत्पीठरूपिणी विशृङ्खला विविक्तस्था वीरमाता विवत्रसोः मुकुन्दा मुक्तिनिलया मूलविग्रहरूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगग्नि भवचक्रप्रवर्तिनी छन्दसारा शास्त्रसारा मन्त्रसारा तलोदरी उदारकीर्तिरुद्धाम वैभवावर्णरूपिणी जन्म मृत्युजरा तप्त जन विश्रान्तिदायिनी सर्वोपनिषदुद्घुष्टा शान्त्यतीतकलात्मिका गम्भीरा गगनान्तस्था गर्विता गानलोलुपा कल्पनारहिता काष्ठा कान्ता कान्तार्धविग्रह कार्यकारण निर्मुक्ता कामकेलितरङ्गिता कणत्कणकताडङ्गा लीला विग्रहधारिणी अजाक्षय विनिर्मुक्ता मुग्धा क्षिप्रप्रसादिनी अन्तर्मुख समाराध्या बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा त्रयी त्रिवर्गनिलया दृष्टा त्रिपुरमालिनी निरामया निरालम्बा स्वात्मा रामा सुधा श्रुतिः संसारपङ्कनिर्मग्न समुद्धरणपण्डिता यज्ञप्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमानस्वरूपिणी धर्माधारा धनाध्यक्षा धनधान्यविवर्धिनी विप्रप्रिया विप्ररूपा विश्वभ्रमणकारिणी विश्वग्रासा विद्रुमाभा वैष्णवी विष्णुरूपिणी अयोनिर्योनिनिलया कूटस्था कुलरूपिणी वीरगोष्ठीप्रिया वीरा नैष्कर्म्यानादरूपिणी विज्ञानकलना कल्या विदग्धा बैन्दवासना तत्त्वादिका तत्त्वमयी तत्त्वमर्थस्वरूपिणी सामगानप्रिया सौम्या सदाशिवकुटुम्बिनी सव्यापसव्यमार्गस्था सर्वापद्भिनिवारिणी
स्वस्था स्वभावमधुरा धीरा धीरसमर्चिता
चैतन्यार्घ्यसमाराध्या चैतन्यकुसुमप्रिया सदोदिता सदा दुष्टा तरुणादित्यपाटला दक्षिणा दक्षिणाराध्या धरस्मेरमुकाम्बुजा कौलिनी केवलानर्घ्य कैवल्यपददायिनी स्तोत्रप्रिया स्तुतिमती श्रुतिसंस्तुतवैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मङ्गलाकृतिः विश्वमाता जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिणी प्रगल्भा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रिणी वामकेश्वरी पञ्चयज्ञप्रिया प्रिया पञ्चप्रेतमञ्चादिशायिनी पञ्चमी पञ्चभूतेशी पञ्चसङ्ख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्या शर्मदा शम्भुमोहिनी धराधरसुता धन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता शमात्मिका बन्धुः कुसुमप्रख्या बाला लीला विनोदिनी सुमङ्गली सुतकरी सुवेशाढ्या सुवासिनी सुवासिन्यर्चन प्रीता शोभना शुद्धमानसा बिन्दुदर्पण सन्तुष्टा पूर्वजा त्रिपुराम्बिका दशमुद्रा समाराध्या त्रिपुरा श्रीवशङ्करी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्या ज्ञानज्ञेयस्वरूपिणी योनिमुद्रा त्रिखण्डेशी त्रिगुणाम्बा त्रिकोणगा अनगा अद्भुतचारित्र्या वाञ्छितार्थप्रदायिनी अव्याजातिशयज्ञाता षडद्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
श्री शिवा
शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका श्री शिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका श्री शिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका एवं श्री ललिता देव्या नाम्नां सहस्रकं जगुः
इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे उत्तरखंडे श्री हयग्रीवागस्त्य संवादे श्री ललिता रहस्य सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं सर्वं संपूर्णम् श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं ॐ सिन्धूरारुणविग्रहां प्रणयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापेन वक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नग्रस्तरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः श्रीं ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीललिताम्बिकाय नमः श्रीं ऐं अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः क्लीं तर्जिनीभ्यां नमः सौः मध्यमाभ्यां नमः ऐं अनामिकाभ्यां नमः क्लीं कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः सौः करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः ऐं हृदयाय नमः क्लीं शिरसे स्वाहा सौः शिखाय विष्टे ऐं कवचाय घं क्लीं नेत्रत्रयाय वौषड सौः अस्त्राय फट् भूः भुवः सुवः ॐ इति दिग्विमोघः तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु।
Hello. Okay. Namaskaram. So please remain seated while the Alankaram is taking place. It will take another 15-20 minutes. Today is the third day of our Alankara Utsavam. Please be seated, Amma. It will take a little time. Third day of our annual Alankara Utsavam. Day 1 was Ganapati. Yesterday was dedicated to Devi. And today is dedicated to Guru. So our tradition of Sri Vidya, our Guru, the Prathama Guru is Dattatreya. Dattatreya, who is considered to be Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva all in one. You would have seen his Murti inside. Probably better known in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Those are the strongholds for Dattatreya. But he is the preceptor, the tradition that we follow here. So today is dedicated to Guru. In parallel, we also have Varahi Navaratri. It started yesterday. So Varahi Amman is here, Murti of Varahi Amman. And there is a Kalasham, you can see, dressed in yellow. So she was invoked into that Kalasham yesterday along with all of her Anga Upanga Devatas, all of her attendant deities. And Homam was performed, Mula Mantra Homam. The Mula Mantra of Varahi was basically offered into the Homam. And that is going to be every day for the next 9 days. So it ends on 14th, which is a Sunday. That will be the last day. So this evening, again at 5 p.m., we will have Varahi Homam. After the Homam is concluded, we offer Shodasha Upachara Puja, 16 Upacharas to Devi. And when we come to Snanam, which is one of the Upacharams, then Devi is taken aside and Abhishekam is done to the Devi. Then she is dressed and then the rest of the puja is concluded after that. So that is the protocol every evening for the next few evenings. So if you are here, please do make it a point to attend. Today is Dattatreya, coming back to the Alankara Utsavam. The speciality today is that Dattatreya is going to be worshipped and taken around the temple in a procession by children. So the puja will be done by children, and there is a small chariot, a child-sized chariot, that Dattatreya will be taken around in the evening. So that will be maybe 6:30, we will start that. You don't want it to get too late for children, and it will go into maybe 9 p.m. or so. The Dattatreya will be taken around in procession, and after that Mahaprasadam will be served. So that is the evening program. Just to recap, 5 o'clock we will have Varahi Puja, and 6:30 we will start the Dattatreya Puja. So the first Alankara Puja will be done and he will be taken in procession. So that is this evening's program. I thought maybe today is a good occasion to talk about Sri Amma. Sri Amma or Matiyoli Saraswati Amma. One of the two pictures that you see in that central part, you would have seen one picture is of our Parama Guru, Srila Sri Amritananda, whose picture is also here. He is our Guru's Guru, and he comes from Vishakhapatnam, and his name is Sri Prahalada Shastri, Diksha name Amritananda Natha. And he has established a temple in a place called Devipuram. It was actually just a forest, about 45 minutes from Vishakhapatnam, where he has established a temple in the shape of a Mahameru. It is truly an engineering marvel, but he did it without any engineers. Nobody was willing to come there in the middle of the forest to build anything. So he just read a textbook on civil engineering himself and designed the whole thing. That is Guruji for you, a nuclear physicist, and he could do anything he wanted. So with the help of local village labor, a lot of the women and the girls from nearby villages, this temple was constructed brick by brick. If you know what a Mahameru is, it is a Sri Chakram but projected into 3 dimensions. You have an example right in front of the Devi. That's a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot Mahameru. But in Devipuram, this Mahameru you can actually walk inside. And you can actually climb the steps and walk all the way to the Bindu, the topmost floor, where Devi Rajarajeswari is established. She is called Sahasrakshi, the one with 1,000 eyes. So that is Devipuram, that is Guruji. And Guruji's Guru, that is our Guru's Guru, is Avadhuta Sannyasi called Swaprakashanandanatha. Hamsa Avadhuta Tirtha. Avadhuta means one without clothes, right? Sky clad, as they say. And he's a sannyasi from a place called Anakapalli. Those of you from Andhra will know these places. And he was verily the personification of Dattatreya. So today's puja is about Dattatreya, and he was really Dattatreya himself. The idol he worshipped was Dattatreya, and his puja would be essentially, I think, an hour of preparation of doing various things, and the puja itself would be 30 seconds. He would just say hum, and that was the puja. I've had the good fortune of actually being there for one of his pujas. There was a language barrier. I did not understand Telugu, but very blessed to have been in his presence. So that is Guru Garu, as we call him. So that is our Parameshti Guru. Maybe we can come back to Guru Garu. I also want to say a few things about Sri Amma. So the Sri Amma is a different lineage of gurus for this temple. This temple has multiple lineages of gurus. The ones I just mentioned is the Sri Vidya lineage with Guruji and Guru Garu. There is a lineage which is coming from Mahaperiva. Mahaperiva is the great Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram. And the connection we have with Kanchipuram and Paramacharya is through Sri Amma, Sri Madiyoli Saraswati. So she was someone who lived and walked amongst us. She is considered an avatar of none other than Akhilandeshwari Devi or Varahi Devi. So very appropriate that during Varahi Navaratri we are able to talk about Sri Amma. So for those of you who don't know who she is, she didn't become a very famous, guru or anything like that, but in her own way, she built something called the Nandalala Trust and established the Nandalala Temple in Chennai, in Madras, and did a lot of social work in terms of building hospitals, educating people around her, and so on. The way Ayya came in contact, Ayya is our guru, the way he came in contact with Sri Amma, somebody was asking me, Ayya always had a fear of Varahi Devi. So as you can see, Varahi Devi has the face of a boar, right? Like Varaha Avataram of Mahavishnu. She has that face of a boar. She looks very fierce. And Ayya was always a little scared of Varahi and was even afraid to chant her Mula Mantra to that extent. So once when he went to Chennai, he came to know that this Madiyoli Saraswati Amma lives in Chennai and she's supposed to be an avatar of Akhilandeshwari or Varahi Devi. So he was very curious. He wanted to meet her, but at the same time he was very nervous about meeting her. So when he went to meet her, apparently the very first thing she told him was, there is no need to be afraid of me. There is no need to be afraid of chanting my mantra. So immediately, he formed an instant connection with her, and they were very much like mother and son. She was here for the opening of this temple in 1998, when the Devi moved to this, which is basically a converted barn, what you see inside. And she has been part of this temple throughout, in all the years since. So that is Madiyoli Amma. There is a nice video in YouTube, I think, on her life. So if you are curious, you can definitely watch that video. It is the story of her early years. She was, as a little girl, she was not like other little girls. She didn't go and play with other children. She would often be lost in a trance. And when she was about 15 or 16, her very concerned parents took her to Mahaperiva and said, this girl is, acting in a very abnormal way for someone her age. Can you please help? And then Mahaperiva, the great sage of Kanchi, agreed to see her And then when she was in his presence, she apparently stood up and said, Enna unakku theriliya, in Tamil, meaning, don't you recognize me? Um, and that is when he suddenly saw that she was Akhilandeshwari herself. And he is said to have prostrated to her. And he is the one who told the rest of the world that this is Akhilandeshwari Devi on this earth. So that is a brief story of Madhuyoli Amma. Please watch the video on YouTube, which goes into her life in more detail. Yeah, you have to. Oh, the book release. Okay. You want to talk about it, Priya? Yeah. All of them. Okay. So, our Guru Haranaya has been giving a series of lectures on Sanatana Dharmam called Sacred Rites and Rituals of Sanatana Dharmam. And a group of devotees around the world have been actively transcribing these lectures. So the lecture will conclude on a Friday. By the next day, it is fully transcribed. And another group of devotees has actually taken excerpts from those lectures and created these books based on that. So the first in the series is called Puja. The second is called Shivalingams. And the third, which was just released yesterday, is called Abhishekam. So these are all topics that maybe we don't really know a lot about. And these books are available to you. And the corresponding YouTube recordings are also available. So if anyone's interested, you can buy these books in the bookstore. The videos will be on our YouTube channel. Anything else? So I think we still have some more time. Anagayan, inside. Maybe another 10 minutes. Okay. So since we are talking about Sri Amma today, I thought I would just read this out to you. So my name is Sri Ganesh. I've been with this temple since 1991. I came as a graduate student to the University at Buffalo, not very far away. And I've been associated. I met Ayya that year. And the Devi was in his home about 10 minutes from here in a converted garage. That's where the Devi used to be until the year 98, when the Devi moved to this barn. And the barn has since been extended till here. We have done the best we can with this space. And last year, we finally broke ground on a permanent temple for the mother. That is the construction that you see. So if you're interested, we would be happy to give you a tour of the new construction. And you can see, how it's coming about. The Ganapati and Subramanya Sannidhis are already almost ready, the local construction. And the Ganapati Sannidhi, the actual temple inside, has already arrived here. It is 100% granite. And it is assembled, it was assembled in Chennai, dismantled and shipped, and now it has to be reassembled. So that is something that we are hoping to do later. And the Ganapati Murti here will move to the new temple. Similarly, the Devi and the Shivalingam will all move into the new temple once it's completed. So we are breaking ground, or rather I would say continuing with phase 3 of this new temple tomorrow. Tomorrow is, where we actually kick off the construction of the larger, the full temple. So the foundation for the whole temple is going to take place as part of the next phase. That's why we're going to be losing a lot of the parking lot, because the new temple, all of that space will be dug up and fenced. So you will not be able to park any cars there. We have a lot of exciting projects because of that. So one is to construct a parking lot here. A lot of the cars are parked on the grass, which can be a problem when it's raining and the ground is muddy. cars can get stuck. So we're planning to build a parking lot here. And because this particular building will be retained even after the new temple comes, we will use it for private pujas. And Annadanam will also happen here. We have to continue to invest in this property as well. So there is a project to extend the restroom space, provide a plate washing area. There's a whole project over there. And then this tiling just happened 2 weeks ago. We had carpet before. So we continue to improve this space. So again, if you're interested in contributing to either the new temple or any of these capital improvement projects, please talk to us in the bookstore. No donation is too small. So coming back to Sri Amma, I just wanted to read this out to you because we are thinking about Sri Amma today. So this is my own account of my interactions with Sri Amma, which of course are very limited compared to Ayya and many other devotees. So living in Bangalore from 2001 to 2013, our first opportunities to have Sri Amma's darshan came when we met with Ayya's Yatra group in Chennai and accompanied them to Nandalala events. On one such occasion, our daughter Shashwati, then all of 8 years old, sang the Tirupugar Muttaittaru on stage, much to Sri Amma's delight, and received her blessings. On one of those brief visits to Bangalore, I met Sri Amma along with my mother at the residence of Sri Shankaran. She knew my parents and used to refer to my father as Rao, although his name was not Rao, his name was Madhvanath, but she referred to him as Rao, maybe in reference to his Kannada roots, we don't know. She also knew my maternal aunt, Dr. V.S. Sasivalli, who was a Tamil scholar and had spoken at Sri Amma's gatherings and written reviews of many of Sri Amma's writings. So for those who don't know, Sri Amma was a published author. She had written a lot of books, including cookbooks. So she lived in Chennai. Many of her books are available here if you're interested. So my aunt had written reviews of some of Sri Amma's writings. And those books used to get released every December 25th at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. My aunt recalls how Sri Amma was always so down to earth and very particular that she herself went to the speaker's residence with a tray full of fruits to invite them to events and thank them for accepting to review her book. So she would personally invite every reviewer and speaker. We had occasion to meet Sri Amma briefly again when we were in Chidambaram for Ayya's 70th birthday. I remember Sri Amma sitting on the steps inside the temple courtyard, watching the ceremony, the picture of grace. During this period, we knew Sri Amma mainly as a gracious and erudite lady who loved children, a well-known author and an amazing organizer and leader of the Nandalala organization, who was also regarded as the avatar of Akhilandeshwari. My real opportunities to get to know Sri Amma, both as an individual and as Akhilandeshwari Swarupam, came only after we moved to Rochester in 2014. She visited the temple that summer during the Alankara Utsavam. This very festival in 2014, Sri Amma was here and gave a series of talks in Tamil. She enjoyed engaging with the devotees and asking them riddles in eloquent Tamil. My own understanding of literary Tamil being fairly limited, I could only guess at their meaning. I spoke to her briefly. She was aware of my mother's passing earlier that year. Because she was staying at the temple, my wife, Radhika, helped with cooking for her in the style that she was used to. Sri Amma became very fond of my wife after that and never failed to ask about her whenever we met. In 2016, Sri Amma was turning 75, and the Nandalala mission had decided to organize multiple celebrations throughout the year at different locations where they had chapters. We from the Rush Temple had planned to celebrate it by having a special homam at the Jambukeshwar Akhilandeshwari Temple on the 11th of January 2016. I was part of a small group from the temple accompanying Ayya and Amma, fortunate to be able to attend that event. The group met in Chennai in late December to plan the event, and the planning included meetings with Sri Amma and her closest Nandalala group members at her residence. During one such meeting, the question of where to have the homam within the temple came up. One of the peculiarities of this temple is that the Ganapati Sannidhi is right opposite from Akhilandeshwari. I don't know if anybody has been to the Jambukeshwaram temple, but there is a beautiful standing murti of Akhilandeshwari Devi. She is distinguished by her earrings. The earrings she wears actually has 3 yantrams on the earrings. And right across from her is a giant Mahaganapati. So the question was whether to have the homam in front of the Ganapati Sannidhi. Her brief response was authoritative and breathtakingly unexpected. Angiye pannunga. Avara vechi dhaan ennai adakki vechirukanga. So in English she said, have it there. After all, he, that is Ganapati, has been installed to keep me in control. That's what she said. For a brief moment, it was Akhilandeshwari that responded to the question. Another time, there was a lively debate about whether Devi could really have worshipped a Shivalingam made of water. You know, the Jambukeshwaram is one of the Panchabhuta Sthalams. It is a water element. And so the question was, how do you worship a Shivalingam made out of water, right? So in the legend, it says that it was made out of water. But it seemed very improbable from a physics perspective. The question was put to Sri Amma, and she said simply, that is how it was, and ended the debate. So once again, the goddess had spoken. I finally understood that in the guise of Sri Amma, we were in the presence of the Devi herself. We moved to a hotel in Trichy a few days before the event. Sri Amma took great care of all of us, making sure we ate well and showered everyone with gifts. She made a list of old and rare temples for us to visit around Trichy, and every day she herself would join us for one of them. Some of them were really old and not very well known. She would explain the interesting facets of these temples, and her vast knowledge of and love for our ancient culture and traditions was so apparent in her explanations. The homam itself was a grand success. In addition to our temple group, it was well attended by several Nandalala families. We were all deeply content. Afterwards, Sri Amma took us out to dinner to a restaurant that served traditionally healthy preparations made out of millet. It was a millet restaurant. This is a fad in India. I've not seen it here. It was a new experience for us. Everything was made out of millet, everything on the menu. She also took us shopping to the local market and picked out a dosaikal for Radhika. It was amazing that despite having a large organization to run and several pressing matters, she took the time to get to know us individually and take care of every one of us. We also had the opportunity to mingle with the Nandalala family, the devotees who treated her as their mother and sister and relied on her for every life decision. The time we spent with Sri Amma on this trip is something that we will cherish forever. So I'd like to conclude by recalling one final experience later that same year. Sri Amma was visiting New Jersey, where there is a Nandalala chapter. A group of about 20 devotees from Rochester decided to attend a homam organized by the chapter at the Bridgewater Temple that Sri Amma was supposed to attend. When we arrived, several people had already arrived and the homam had just started. As we all sat watching the homam, for some inexplicable reason, I had this random thought that if I could somehow collect my ego and all of my shortcomings and negativities into a coconut, I would offer it to Sri Amma and be rid of them all. That was a random thought I got. It was just a feeling, a fleeting thought that only lasted a few seconds. But in that moment, I was truly sincere, and the sense of surrender was strong. An hour passed, and Sri Amma came to the function. She was delighted to see the Rochester Temple group in the crowd. After the homam concluded, she announced that all ladies dressed in green should go and collect prasadam from her. As it happened, or perhaps it was her divine design, my wife Radhika was dressed in green, as were a couple of others from the temple. Afterwards, the group from the temple did a group namaskaram to her. One of the devotees from the group had just presented her with a tray of fruits and other offerings on behalf of the temple. Sri Amma picked out a coconut from the tray and gave it to one of her aides and pointed in the general direction of our group. As the aide came up to us, coconut in hand, Sri Amma continued to direct her until she reached a specific individual standing near the back of the group, who it turned out was me. As the aide handed me the coconut, I was speechless. Sri Amma just looked at me and smiled. So this was my reminiscing of my limited experiences with Sri Amma. It was brief, but truly something I treasure. So, are we done inside, Aya? Some more time? I think we still need a little more time, so please be seated. 10 minutes, Aya? It's always 10 minutes. Okay. Where is Sanagai? Shankar, Aya. Shankar. You want to talk about Guru Garu a little bit? Guru Garu.
Namaskaram. Yes, it works. A puja is, Alankaram is yet to complete. We'd really appreciate if you go and clog up over there in that hall. That's the reason Amma I said, kindly come back here. Another 10 minutes, please bear with us. Let us have some story time. Come. Oh boy. This exodus reminds me of Alankaram is not over yet. Kindly come back and be seated. Alankaram is not done yet. Yeah, if you clog up there like that, it only going to delay things. It will only delay things. People near the door, kindly come back. Alankaram is not done yet. Kindly come back. Please. If you stay there, it is only going to delay matters. Come and be seated. We can just get back in about 10-15 minutes. No. 2:30. 2:30, yeah. So, of you, anybody coming for the first time?
They just came from Westchester County. They came from Westchester County.
Ah,
They looked up and they found Devi's name.
nice.
They have a sanctum in their house.
This was? Interesting. Amma? So which part of India are you from? Hyderabad. So you are the ones that have sanctum in your house? Pardon? No. He said you have a you have a sanctum in your house for Devi? Where? In Westchester? I see. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Please be seated. Sit. Instead of me standing and talking, probably we can sit and talk. On so that people can. One second. I'll get. Can we get one more mic, Amma? Just one more mic. Sriji, Ayya, can I get one more mic? It seems they have a sanctum for Kamakya? Kamakya in their house. Kanchi Kamakshi, aha. Thank you, Ayya. So this is for you. This is for you, this is for me. Okay. So tell me, how long have you been having this sanctum?
So,
Devotees, can you kindly hold down a little bit? Hello? That really helps. People in the Agni Konam are really. Excuse me, Ayya? People in this corner, appreciate if you could hold yourself down. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Tell me something, Ayya. Tell me something about your.
So we used to live in London
Uh-huh.
for 16 years,
Oh, good.
and I think about 4 years in the for about no London. So 6 years in London we had Kamakshi with us. So
London, UK.
in UK, and
Okay.
2 years ago we moved here to Westchester.
Uh-huh.
And now we live in Chapakua, and we have made a little temple for Kamakshi, and we have we have an idol sized the same as there, and a smaller one, and we try and do abhishekam as regularly as we can, yeah, I mean she came into our life about 8 years ago now.
But how did that happen?
So actually in London where we used to live, in the same compound, there was an architect, he's from Malaysia, but lives in London, and he's a big time devotee of Kanchi Kamakshi, and he introduced us to her, and there was an instant connection, so much so that he had the statue, he gave us that statue on the spot. It was his statue which he was already praying for certain years, and he simply gave that to us, and we felt that immediate connection that as soon as she came to our house,
Great.
you know, we would regularly, all four of us would regularly feel connected, and we would pray to her, and she's been with us ever since actually.
Excellent, excellent. Very, very, very happy to hear this.
I mean, if I can share one anecdote.
Please,
Sometimes,
please.
Sometimes when we look at her, we can even feel as if she's smiling, and or sometimes she's not smiling, you know. So
Very fair. Very fair. There's nothing unnatural about getting that kind of a feeling. Getting that kind of a. It's not a feeling. It's more like it comes from within. You know.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you've got to be open and accepting to even feel those kinds of emotions and feelings. So we've been very lucky actually with that.
Shubham, how far is your place from here?
It's pretty far. We are in New York.
Chipaka, New York. Oh, that's right.
In almost Manhattan actually.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Chipaka.
So about 300 miles
Oh, boy.
from here. Yeah.
How did you get to know about this temple?
So my wife actually had heard of this temple. She's sitting here. She had heard of this temple when we came here, and I think you were told about by Raj, right? So the same architect told us about the temple here because it's dedicated to Kamakya, and we had gone to Niagara Falls, and we were coming back, and you know. Suddenly she woke up and she said where we are, and we said here, and she said, oh, I know there's a temple, we have to go there. So yeah.
And you came on a very great day. Today is the 3rd day of temple anniversary.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's the Kamakshi we have at our home.
Ramba Santosham. And that this particular lingam with the Meru inscribed, Sri Yantra inscribed on it, right?
Yes.
Kameshwara lingam. That's
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's great.
And
Fantastic.
we put the Shivlingam,
Yeah.
Lakshmi, and yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Probably someday we hope to just visit the place.
It would be our pleasure. It
Thank
would
you
be
so
absolutely
much.
our
Yeah,
pleasure.
thank you.
Yeah.
And welcome to this temple.
Thank you so much.
We are all one Parivaram of Mother.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Okay?
It's
Yeah.
beautiful to see that. Yeah.
Because this temple was founded by my Guru. You can see the picture on the wall there. Guru and Guru Patni.
Yes.
Okay?
On that corner.
Yeah, on the corner. And then he is his Guru.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
as his guru.
Okay.
Okay, in Andhra Pradesh there is a place called Devipuram. It's a, it's a small hamlet. The Devipuram in India,
In India.
near Vizag,
Okay.
Vishakhapatnam.
Yeah, Vishakhapatnam, yeah.
So there is a small hamlet by name Devipuram, which he practically founded. There, otherwise it was all wilderness. He founded the village there
And
practically.
is that for Kamakshi?
But
Is-
there,
yeah.
no, not Kamachi, Kamakhya.
Kamakhya.
What happened there was when he was meditating in that particular place, she appeared to him and said, "Build a temple for me here." Out
Lovely.
in that wilderness. Then, when he explored the place around, there was on a hillock there was a small well kind of this one where fresh water keeps oozing all the time.
By itself.
Yes. And then he just tasted the taste was great. And then when he excavated that area, they found a Meru that was buried deep underneath.
Wow.
And when they got into the history of this Meru, they realized that so they realized that about 300 years back, they performed a havan there and offered Meru as Purnahuti,
Okay.
which is very rare in itself.
We believe that wherever there is water oozing out by itself, that's
Mother-
generally
mother's- yeah,
a
mother's
presence
pre-
of Shiva. Force,
Shiva
basically.
force, yeah, that Shakti.
Shakti, yeah.
Shakti Peetham kind.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so that's how he came to know of it, and then lot of things happened after that, and then he ended up building a temple, as Sri Ji mentioned, in the shape of a Mahameru itself. The whole temple, if you go to devipuram.com, you can see that.
Oh, we will certainly check. Yeah. Very curious now.
Please come. I think the Alankara is nearing completion. The Naivedyams have gone in. All devotees, now you can get up, starting with the sponsors who I think are already in, followed by the first timers, followed by the rest. Not a big crowd, I guess. Kindly move back into Yagnasham, into the sanctum, and leave the central path open, and then please be seated. Okay? Thank you so much for. No, you are. Yeah, exactly, yes. Please get inside. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Namaste. Shriji Ayya. Shriji.
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिते शरणे त्र्यम्बके नमोस्तुते ॐ या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः ॐ Prana Swaha, Prana Swaha, Prana Swaha, Swaha, Prana Swaha, Prana Swaha, Brahmane, Madhe, Madhe, Putra, Pargami, Prakshalayami, Gandha Achanim च सर्वयामः Om Bhogi Parasamayuktam Na Kalp inside a mouth. Lim, Glom, Slom, Blom, Blom, Rim. Arohara. Arohara. Ayurvehi Vyade Samastamachalam Dehi 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 Me Parameshwari Om Ayada Purna Chandramana Praneshwara Nandini Purna Purna Taram Pare Amrasma हरोहर राजराजाय परसयसायिने नमो वै शौना कुर्महे समय कामान काम कामाय मयं कामेश्वरै शौनददाय राजा आनंद महेश माधव विदात नंदन इंद्रमण चंद्र प्रभर अविदुत्तार कज्जात श्री पादुका भुजंग निर्माण देवताभ्यो नमः नंदी विशराभ्यो नमः ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे चक्रतुंडाय तन्नो नंदी प्रचोदयात् विशराभ्यो नमः
ta din ga ta din ta tang ga de ga ta ga ta din ga ta din ta din ga ta din ga ta din ga de ga tang ga de ga ta din ga ta din ta ga din ta ga jana da ga din tang ga ta din ta din ta din ta ga jana da ga din tang ga ta din ta ga jana da ga din tang din ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida ta din ga ta din ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida dom 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 ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na ta ding na ta ku jana ta gida dom 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 ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na ta ding na ta ku jana ta gida dom 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 ta ku jana ta gida ta ku jana ta gida ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na gum ta ding na ta ding na ta ding na ta din ta din ta ka ta din ga din ga da ga dang ga da ga dari ga da ga dom ga da ga dang ga da ga dari ga da ga dom ga da ga dang ga da ga dari ga da ga dom राजराजाय प्रसयस्मे नमो वै शौना कुर्महे समय कामान काम कामाय मयं कामय जयसमधातुजयाय महाराजाय आयन कर्तव्यं नमः ॐ रक्तज्वालविताधरं सुविमलं रक्ताङ्गतेजोमयं तत्त्वा शूलपाशुतपाशुलोकस्य रक्षाकरं
निर्वाणं सुनवाहनं त्रिनयनमानन्दकोलाहलं वन्दे विद्महे त्रिशूलधीमहि प्रचोदयात् श्रयमस्फुररिमससौ महापद्मानन्तस्ते कालानुसरण ॐ क्रीं 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 हुं हुं ह्रीं ह्रीं दक्षिणे ॐ महानिल ॐ दिनं दशयायने नमो वयं मयि श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामायि मह्यं कामेश्वरो श्रवणदधातु कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः आनन्दकर्पूरनीराजनं दर्शयामि नमः हरिः ॐ कामाक्षी नमः कनकताटङ्गी नमः रत्नताटङ्गी नमः माङ्गमयमाय नमः मरकदरत्नाय नमः पदकाय नमः महापदकाय नमः कनकचिन्ताय नमः ओढ्यानपीठनिलयाय नमः पद्मासनस्थाय नमः पंचपुष्पाणस्थाय नमः शुकस्थाय नमः नवरत्नमौली नमः चंद्रशेखरे नमः पाशहस्ताय नमः इक्षुगंधधरस्थाय नमः कामकोटिन्याय नमः कामाक्षी नमः ईश्वरो गुरुनाथमेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ओम muscular यामी सम बिल्कुल ओम प्रत्यालिमुद्रां पदश्रवं हंसशिवसोऽहं हसकफ्रें हसक्षमलव्रीमसौं सहक्षमलव्यं सौः स्वरूपनिरूपणहेतवे स्वगुरुवे ज्ञानाम्बिका समेत श्री चैतन्य ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं बलिद्रव्याय नमः ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं कुर्कुले श्रीमान् हरिं ओम सर्वदेवेभ्यो सर्वगणेभ्यो सर्वयोगिनेभ्यो विज्ञकर्तेभ्यः सर्वभूतेभ्यो बाणमुद्राम् अवकुटमुद्रां कामधेनुमुद्रां सर्वमुद्रां निष्काममुद्रां पदक्षः तत्सरं चोरयते श्री गुरु सर्वकामभूता शक्ति वाराही पितृदेवता कुरुकुलदेवता माता पुरुषातकराः ओम राजा श्रवण कर्म है कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाय नमः आनंद कर्पूर नीराजनं दर्शयामि नमः ओम कल्याणाय चन्द्रवदना प्राणेश्वराय नन्दिनी पूर्णतरां परेशमयीं पूर्णामृतकारिणीं सम्पूर्णां परमोत्तमामृतकलां विद्यावतीं भारती श्रीचक्रप्रियबिन्दुतर्पण श्रीराजराजेश्वरी एकारादि समस्तवर्ण विविधा आरैकचिद्रूपिणी चैतन्यात्मक चक्र राजनिलया चक्रारिणी भावा भावविभावि भवपरां सद्भक्तिचिन्तामणिं श्रीचक्रप्रियबिन्दुतर्पणपरां श्रीराजराजेश्वरी